Okay, this blank pallet 280SL, which has been off the road for over 30 years. We're going to do an initial drive, hopefully. Seat belts are being a little difficult because they haven't moved in 30 years. So I believe these seat belts probably even have date codes on them, which is kind of cool. They're definitely original belts to the car. All right. Okay, contact. So the guys have gone through a car just a bit to get her to the point where I can hopefully do just a few test miles. We freed up the accelerator linkage. We put a couple flexible brake lines on, which were not allowing brake fluid to pass through. And certainly everything is not dialed in. This is just for preliminary testing to determine the state of the car. So we just like to be able to do a few blocks, get her up to operating temperature, look at the gauges, things like that. So we're in basically in drive right now. Starting off in second gear, which is normal. There's third. There's fourth. So we got all of our gears. That noise is that there are some loose bits in the trunk. We're going to stop at the gas station if it's not busy, because we've got about 1/8 of a tank. Just had big rains in San Diego this morning, and now the sun's coming out. Cloudy but sunny. Boy, she sounds good. Signals are working, coming up to operating temperature. Got 45 pounds of oil pressure. So far so good. Let's get some gas in her. So I just confirmed the Kangol seat belts, which are original to the car, are date coded 1969. Just like we would expect. Pretty cool. So we got 5 gallons of gas in her. Bring that gauge up a little bit. So we can see fuel gauge is working. Oil pressure gauge is working. It immediately jumped to 45 pounds on starting. And coolant is right about 190 degrees. Which is consistent with heat sink since we've been sitting here for a few minutes gassing up. So let's get back on the road. Brakes are getting better and better with a few miles. Again, we've got new flexible hoses, but we haven't done anything with calipers yet, or rotors, or master. might have mentioned in the previous video, we've got a donor booster for testing purposes, because the original brake booster appears to have a pretty big leak, air leak, or vacuum leak in this case. What do you guys think? Should we do a few freeway test miles? Should we take that chance? The tires are not 30 years old. The tires are essentially new. I think the vendor who had the car when we found it had put new tires on it. Otherwise, I might not be doing this. Runs right along. More than keeping up with traffic, keeping up with food trucks anyway. Don't seem to be pulling excessively. I don't want to say they stop perfectly true and straight, but I'm not getting any marked pull in either direction. Here's one of our favorite S curves, but we've got some more pedestrian traffic in front of us, so we won't be able to push it around this curve. Shifter responds to manually operating it. I just did a downshift there into third. Because normally you just leave it in 4 and it does everything for you. Running about 190 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about right. They generally run 185 to 190. Because we have not touched the cooling system. That was a forced downshift, so we know the solenoids and the transmission are working off the button under the accelerator. You floor it and it'll downshift. That's what your mom might have called a passing gear back in the 60s. That was just a forced downshift. That was it again. We're back home to the shop. Unscathed. Wow, nice idle. Presently no power to the Blaupunkt radio. Of course we expect things like that, and I certainly wouldn't expect the AC is not going to work. Although the fan might work. Yeah, we have AC fan blowing nicely. Of course, there won't be any Freon in it, having sat since 1986. Wow. One thing I'm noticing, I've got a red light on, so I'm thinking the battery's not being charged by the alternator. that light that just came on now is from having the door open. And you see the red light. Interesting, this battery has not been dead for us since we got the car, but haven't been driving it either. It appears that it's probably discharging while it's driving. So again, this test drive was all for data, to know what state the car is in now, so we can document that for moving forward with this this restoration, or a custom build as you might call it, on what we like to call the blank pallet car. So thanks for watching along with us.